Hi everyone, in this section we're just going to keep continuing working on our basic detailing, just getting some of the little knickknacks on our character, and we'll just see how far we get. So I'm going to grab my main part of our character's chest, or head and chest area. I'm going to convert it into a polygon, and we're going to separate the two. So we're just going to go under Mesh, Separate. That way we have two different separate pieces of geometry to work with. And we're also going to add another line, so we're going to grab our Split Polygon tool once again. And we're going to start off right about here. And we're going to go right down the middle of this area here that's really bare of geometry. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it to make sure that everybody kind of stays around the same line there. As it comes to the back, just square it off. Convert. See, that looks a little better. And same with up here on the other piece. So we're going to grab, we have our split selected, and go right down the middle. And again, convert. See, it has more of an egg dome shape, just like the side view. See how it kind of has this little edge? That's what I'm kind of recreating a little bit here. So we can take that a little further if you all want. Convert. And we're just going to move these lines a little closer together. We can move this area back up. So when it converts, see, we're getting a little ridge. So now what we're going to really try to start focusing on is the shape that we see here in our image plane. Because we got everybody roughed out, now it's time to really get in there and make it as close as we can. Duplicate special name. Now we got another area here that doesn't have a lot of geometry, and if you look, again, it's a little sharper than our character is. The character's still kind of on the blobby stage, really round. So again, I'm just going to move this vertex over here, create some space. I'm just going to kind of block that off. Same up here. I want these little guys straight if you can help it. And we're going to add this new line. Having trouble seeing again, turn your X around. Don't be afraid to keep moving around. You just again going to eyeball it right down the middle of this area here that doesn't really have much happening here. All the way up to the back. And we'll fix up this back nice later on too. And what that's going to allow us to do as well is it's going to give us a little bit more shape. See how we have a little bit more to play around with now? So we can bring this over, move this guy down just a little. And if you want a nice clean line as well there, you can start moving these guys over. See how that's working? Kind of like the same idea we did for the top part of the head there. And we can move this whole section back up a bit. Again, even though the drawing looks like it's closed there, you want to keep enough room for the shoulder right now. So now we just go in, just move things around just a little bit here and there. Move his back out just a little bit. There we go. Alright, so just like we did for the metal plates, which again, looking at them, they need a little bit of work. They're still kind of just sitting on there, not quite the way you want. We're going to do kind of the same thing with the chest piece here. So we're going to convert. Make sure that these guys are kind of close, or at least equal in spacing as you can get them. This little guy kind of goes off in the corner there, so just want to fix that up a bit. There, let's see, the top looks okay as well. I'm actually going to see what this looks like first, and if not, we'll just redo it and change one thing. So I'm going to grab all the faces. Again, extrude, grab your blue. This time you're going to push inwards. Right to about there. You don't want it too deep, but at the same time you don't want it too shallow. Just enough to give it a little bit of width there. Convert. And there's our top plate. Same with this area. Convert that into regular poly. Extrude. This one can either go in or out, whatever one you feel would work best. This one probably work best by going out because you can match it up a little bit. And the next thing we can do is bring these guys down a little bit so that they match up a little bit. This is how he's going to be able to turn his head, I think. So just kind of match it up on the side view here. And then you can grab these little guys on the bottom and match them up a little bit here as well. Again, they don't have to be perfect. Remember, you want them to be separate, but at the same time, they look like they've been made to be able to move on top of each other. And we got this one little problem on the back here. See how the little things got a little nasty looking there? Just convert back in. Let's see what's going on. So if we got one little extra guy here that went up into the wrong area, so just move that guy back. This is all common stuff that happens, so you can see that I don't panic at all. I'm just kind of like, okay, I accidentally moved that when I was moving something else. Let's go in and fix it up. Now when it comes to the chest, depending on if you want this to have a seam or not, we can keep it the way it is. We'll just duplicate special. So we have this little seam down the top and middle here. That's kind of a cool effect. Or you can merge them together to have the headpiece, the top part of the head here, as one. It really, again, depends on what you want to do with this model. Now I have one little guy here that's lonely, so I'm just going to hide my NURB surfaces real quick because his line didn't match up as well. again, really easy fix. You don't have to really do much to fix it. Just come around. Enter. There we go. Now if you want to have this top piece as one, again, very simple to do. Right click, select faces. I'm going to select just faces on the inside of that scene. So these little guys right here. Delete them. F8, duplicate special. Combine. Now this time we got two sets of edges to remember to merge. Just merge them up really nice, really fast here. So our character is really starting to come along in the last section or so. You can see that details starting to happen, and you can get a really good idea of where he's headed. So that means you're doing your job. Okay, so now we can convert 3. And there's our solid head. Now I'm going to keep the back open like that because that's kind of cool looking. And I'm probably going to redo that a little bit because I think it's a little too wide. But we can handle that after. Bring back our NURBS. And again, that's pretty cool. Alright, so let's start on our main area here of our character's face. Just going to get rid of that right now because it's bugging me. And we're going to grab our sphere. And we're going to grab a new sphere as well. So we're going to create a new NURB sphere. And so we're going to make our eye here. So I'm going to rotate it down 90 degrees. And again, that end sweep just because I always like to make sure it's going in the way that I need it to. Like that. I'm going to duplicate this sphere once again. Right click this isoparm. Shift select the one behind it in the same position. Detach, or cut actually. And I'm just going to grab the middle section. Delete the two ends. Bring that back into position like that. Make it a little bigger. Crimp it. A little bigger still. Crimp it. And again. See what I made? Made our character's eye. What will be our character's eye? So we can grab this outside section and we're going to convert, so modify convert, NURBS to polys. Delete the old NURBS, back into position of the new poly. Grab those edges. Front and back. And we can extrude. This time we're going to center. X-ray. Side view will help. You can bring it in so it matches up that first inner line you see there, G. Extrude again. These guys are going to come really close together. And you can spread it back out. That worked. Now you can merge these two together if you want, or you can just leave them separate. You shouldn't see it if his eyeball's moving around the way it is right now. But again, it all really depends on you as the artist and what you want to do. So now we can make our eyeball a little bit smaller. And grab the outside of our eyeball socket. And just square it out just a little. So let's put this guy into position. Down. Let's shrink it. Now, before you try to shrink this little guy, you have to go Freeze Transformations, Control G to group, Center Pivot. Now you can shrink them both at the same time. So let's make sure he's right where he needs to be. So it's a little bit farther down on his forehead, if I remember correctly. Yep. So it's going to be right about there. So we're going to do some work on the character's head itself now. Grab that, and I'm just going to move it back inwards again. I'm going to flatten that face just a little bit here. Move in. First we're going to push this area up. There. Bring it back to about there. Something like that. We can add some extra little isoparms there if you want now as well. Yeah, let's just move these guys from here to here. Insert. And another one. Right about there. This is just going to be geometry to, help us create something really cool. So we're going to insert this little one, and then we're going to convert. Modify convert. Vote. Delete the old nerves. Back into position. Alright. I'm going to duplicate it one more time. And I'm going to go faces, delete the bottom. Fate, duplicate the main one again. Bring it back out. Match it up. Faces. Detach the top one this time. And we're going to go into the middle. Make sure we grab those little guys there. It can be tricky sometimes because they're quads. So we're going to make those actually, no, they're tris, not quads. Quads now. So we're just going to do those inside middle ones there, top and bottom. There we go. Fate. Now we're going to grab either the top or bottom vertices, and we're just going to move it up just a hair, not much at all, just a little. Same with bottom. Down just a little bit. Go to the front view. I want it very, very flat. That's what I kind of picture him as. So I'm going to grab all of these vertices, top and bottom again. Push it in. Nice and flat. F8. Grab your cut face tool. Another little line right there. Just let go of it before. I do. There we go. Now we can right click, select faces, top and bottom. Select them all. Sometimes you have to go into your side view to get the other little guy on the bottom. Extrude. And again, this one will probably work better if you just go in just a little bit. Convert into a subdivision. And go into our side view. Something a little weird happening there. Okay, I know what that is. Okay, if this happens to you, don't panic. We just forgot to merge that little area before we extruded down the middle. It's actually good this happened. Sometimes when you get rid of, like, say, especially on spheres and stuff like that, when you convert, you're left with a couple little extra little vertices there. So to get rid of that, you just got to make sure if they merge together, right in the center of where that sphere was. And to protect it even more, you can grab your cut face tool again, and you can add an extra line. Right there. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure that they're nice and straight. So again, just another little thing that pops up. It's quite common. There's nothing to worry about. You can just figure out what happened there and take it from there. I actually like it when that stuff happens during a tutorial so you guys can see how to fix it, because some of the tutorials, they're so perfect out there that if you do run into a problem, you never know how to fix it. Oh, there we go. So now let's try that again. Let's just see what they look like as a sub-D real quick. There, see? Much better. And we'll go right click, select faces, top and bottom. Extrude. This time push in just a little. Perfect. And here's our character's face a bit. And just move our original up out of the way for now. I'll probably come back and use a couple pieces of that in a minute. So now we can play around the size of our eye. As well as the shape of our character's head here. You have these little guys on the bottom here. Depending on the shape that you want, again, really, at this point, it's up to you guys. Drawing only shows us so much. So we have a lot of artistic freedom with this. And let's bring those guys a little bit closer together. So let's look at our character's head again. A little bit big. I'm going to Control G just to group it for now. Center pivot. And then make it a little bit smaller. And let's bring it outwards a bit. So you can look left and right and things like that. So now we're at the stage where we can really start changing some things just to make it look a little bit more like metal and giving it a little bit more of a sculpted type metal, but still has a little bit of a organic feel to it. See how I'm just starting to move to certain things just to create some new lines and some new edges. This is something that you guys can really explore and have fun with now. Sometimes it's easier to select them as a polygon as well, so you can convert. So I'm going to grab this whole edge line right here. I'm just going to move it forward a bit. I don't want to touch the base part, but the other areas I can really move around now to create, again, almost like how a car door is. You need some of the really nice sleek car doors have these little edge lines that help define, like, say, the bumpers and things like that. This is the kind of stuff you want to keep in mind at this stage when we're starting to add a little bit of personality to our character, even though he's a robot. Simple little things like that are going to make a big difference, especially in your renders with lights and things like that. So that's, again, something to always be thinking about. So pop this back a little. Just a little. But you don't want to touch these little guys down on the bottom there. Now, remember we had that duplicated head? We can play around with that as well. So I'm going to bring it back in down to original position real quick. And let's bring that in and we'll duplicate one more time here. What I'm going to do is just grab one of these circles here. I'm going to grab this area right here, all the way around. Delete everything I don't want. Select faces. And then extrude. This time we're going to keep them kind of close together. In the center, so we're going to 1, G2, center once again, and G3. So it looks something like that. Convert 3, pivot, frame. Okay, that's really big. So I'll move this guy back up. And play around with that right now. So grab this area here. So I wanted this to kind of fit just over top of that eye area that we created. And just move this over like that. Just round it around. And this is the thing with, like, especially robots and that. The more little nooks and crannies and little edges you create, the more it actually starts having a personality, or starts to become alive. It just takes a lot longer. And it's still really big. Shrink it. And again, just play around. With the shape there. So you get something you like. And widen the helmet after as well. I'm just making this area a little bit wider. looks something like that. There we go. So that'll do it for this section. In the next section, we'll just keep continuing working on our body here. We'll just bring back everybody. So we're going to start working on the back part. Like I say, we're going to leave the arms and the legs till later on. We'll just get everything kind of underway as far as moderate detail, and then we'll come into new areas there that we're going to need to kind of lock out again. So if you guys are doing okay, and I'll talk to you soon. Till then, take care.